What's up, guys? Today I'm gonna do a video on me setting up this Ender 3 V2. As you can see, I already got a V2 printing. I got a V1 right here. Also going to town on some stuff. So I'm gonna take it out of the box, kind of show you how to quickly set it up. It's really easy. I'm just gonna get straight to the point, explain a couple little things to adjust here and there, and then we're gonna try to print something on it. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull all this stuff out the box. All right, so here it is in the box. You get the instructions and some other random literature. The main body of it with the plate attached, this is like your slidey body. The extruder, or the feed, the extruder is already kind of attached by the Bowden cable. Your freaking top rails, your bottom rails, or your top and side rails. The controller itself right here. So like I said, I'm gonna pull this out the box, put it on the table, lay it all out, we'll kind of go over everything. All right, here it is with all the parts laid out. They kind of give you quite a bit of stuff, including all the tools you need to put this together. So you don't even need like any extra tools. You don't got to go down to like Lowe's or none of that to get extra wrenches and stuff. You have everything right here. These are, like I said, these are the side rails, these are your top rails. The machine itself, this comes connected already, so be careful. It's got a wiring harness. This is like your feed tube for the extruder assembly. You got your belt tensioner for the that way axis, the screw rod, that's the lift axis, the motor or the stepper motor for that. All the hardware, like I said, all that good stuff, the display's right here. So I'm going to start by putting the side ones on. There's a lot of YouTube videos on kind of how to set this up. I'm just going to kind of go through it real quick, and I've already done one. That one I didn't have to put together. I bought it used. It was already assembled. But it's pretty straightforward, so I'm going to show you a couple little tips and tricks that helped me put it together. You know, kind of show you where these go. That could be a little tricky if you've never set one of these up, and that's it. If you follow the instructions that come with it, they're pretty straightforward. The only thing that confused me when I did my first machine is where to put the limit switch, and you'll see what I'm talking about in a minute, but I'm going to go ahead and start slapping some stuff together. Alright, so we got these bodies on. As per the instructions, it's pretty simple. It uses the long screws. It gives you 5 of them. So you're not supposed to really tighten them up too much until you get everything else set up. I just tighten them fully. Also, another thing I saw from another video is check these screws right here. Put this thing on a flat surface and just kind of check the torque, because both of the machines I set up, well, at least one of these was pretty loose. And then you just want to make sure the machine doesn't like teeter on a flat surface. That means everything's square, the frame's nice and square. So now we're going to move on to mounting the limit switch right here, and then we're going to put the Z motor on with the little rod and all that. So we're going to go ahead and do all that. Okay, got the limit switch on. This was kind of confusing to me in the instructions the first time I did it, but basically the bottom of this is going to be flush with the bottom of this piece. So wherever this piece ends at, the switch is going to be also flush with that. It's kind of hard to see, kind of like that. So you see how it's flush right up against this the bottom of that rail. And then screw these down. This is plastic, so don't go crazy on them. Just snug them down enough to hold it in place. And then the connector for that is right here, and it's labeled Z. So that's it. You just plug that in right there, yoink. So I'm gonna do that, and then we're gonna throw the motor on. Also, right now, the way the motor sits, there's kind of a gap on the bottom and the side, or on the face right here. So I'm putting some spacers for the motor to sit on to kind of help it sit a little bit more square on the machine. So I'm gonna get those put on and then slap it on real quick and go from there. All right, so I got the Z motor spacers printed. This is what they look like before you install them. So this one kind of sits on the bottom, and that kind of brings the motor up from the channel. So you put that one like that, and then this one's gonna sit like this, yoink. And then it has the gaps here are for the screws. So print yourself a set of these. Well, I guess if you're building the machine, you can't yet, but I'm gonna go ahead and slap these in. But the first thing you should print, you know, once you get your machine set up is, you know, more goodies for your machine. So I'm gonna go ahead and I got the screws in there loose. I'm gonna go ahead and put together I call it like the Gantry Assembly, but this assembly is gonna consist of your feeder and your extruder head, and it goes on with these rails and this little wheel. So I'm gonna start slapping this together. This is the hardest part of the build, but once I get it all together, I'll kind of show you all the little hints or the little tips and tricks that I found. But like you can kind of see right here, this lines up, you know, right there. You put the screws or the bolts from the other side. That's what those holes there are for. Just, you know, they're pretty good in the instructions. They're not really too bad, but just this is, in my opinion, the hardest part. And that's it. All right, here we go. Every time I go to talk, I hope the shit prints, yeah. I said, I hope this freaking prints, yeah. I hope my printer freaking prints, yeah. All right, here we go. We got this thing all together. We loaded some purple PLA in it. Leveling the bed was a pain in the ass because it's like the springs were too compressed, and it's like I was trying to raise it to get it to like closer to the nozzle or whatever, and yeah, it would just give me a lot of problems. So I mess with like the switch and make sure I tighten the micro switch that limits it. I didn't. Okay, yoink. Okay, so the bed's preheated. I put bed glue. This stuff is what I've been using. Works pretty good. You put a thin layer of it on your bed, then you preheat it to 60 until it dries the glue. And that's it. So I got some purple loaded in it. I'm gonna put this little feed thing on there that helps it feed. There we go. Perfect. And I'm gonna put the faucet knob on the feed motor. Yoink. That's it. The hardest part about setting this thing up is this carriage assembly and then getting the wheels to be smooth. Now, if your printer feels notchy when you move the bed in and out, like it feels like it sticks, you got to mess with the eccentrics on the bottom. And I don't know, once you mess with those, it's kind of weird to figure out which way loosens and tightens it. But you want to loosen them just enough to stop it from being notchy, but not loose enough to where the carriage has play. And then you want to turn these wheels, if you can't spin them on the track, like break the traction on them, then they're tight. If you can break the traction on them, they're too loose. And then right now I have the Booger Claw Bob deal, this thing printing right now on this machine. So I guess for right now we're gonna I'm gonna find something quick on Thingiverse, and we're gonna try to print that out and see how it does.
Breaking it in.
First print, got the little fish fossil. Let's see how it does. I'm excited to see what the purple looks like. Let's see if it messes up or not. This guy's going strong. Making a booger hook. We've made all these parts tray. Little, still got to put these Z-axis spacers on this machine. X-Max body brace. Some USB phone holders or cord holders that kind of messed up. Another Booger Claw. Half of an RC stand. This is the top. I just got to finish putting the bottom. Little parts bin. Alright, I finally got this thing freaking dialed. Had a lot of trouble getting the bed close enough to the nozzle. I guess I wasn't leveling it right, but now it appears like it's working. So if you're having bed stiction issues, make sure it's completely leveled. You use the piece of paper as like a measurement tool. And I put a little bit of bed coating on it like we showed before. And then I got these other two printers going as well. This one's making an octopus pot and this one's making a coaster. So that's going to wrap this up. This was a horrible assembly video. It'll probably confuse you more than it'll help you, but you know, if a normal idiot like me can do it, y'all can all do it as well. So get out there, get printing, and thanks for checking out my video.